I wanted to do a little outfit of the day because I wanted to show you my shirt because it's adorable and it just came in the mail yesterday. I've already given away 2 on my Instagram. That still leaves me with 3 of them to give away to you all. I'm doing something I call speed counting. All you need is a piece of paper. Can't talk right now. Good morning, YouTube. My weekend was kind of blah, if we're being completely honest. First of all, I started feeling sick Saturday morning, woke up with a sore throat. By the end of the day, I was super achy. I had a little bit of a fever, congested, headache, like just did not feel good, was not in a good place. Yesterday, no fever, still have a sore throat, less achy, still had a headache. So I'm feeling better. Like this morning, honestly, the worst of it right now is just my throat. My throat is killing me, but everything else feels better. So I'm going to power through it at school today. I did get grad school work done because that was a non-negotiable. Like I still had to get done, which it worked out because I was on the couch for most of the weekend anyway, so I just chugged away at some assignments. I did want to quickly just say thank you to all of you who have chosen to donate to my Donors Choose project. It was up in my video last week. I shared how we really want to get flexible seating into our classrooms, me and my team teacher. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, everyone who has chosen to donate. I do really appreciate it. And like every time I saw a donation, I'm just like, I love these people. And I just love how much you support me. And even if you didn't donate, I still love you just for watching this. I'm gonna go get myself a frozen coffee from Chick-fil-A because my throat, like I said, not in a good place. Then I need to get to school. I am meeting with just one of my team teachers this morning because we are going on the field trip together, and that's next week. So we have to plan out some things because this field trip is a little bit different than normal field trips. It's one that's like required by the county for 4th graders, and there's a lot of like work that goes along with it. So we're gonna get that done, and then I will catch up with you probably during my planning time. I wanted to talk to you all quickly about my classroom doorbell, which I know some of you are familiar with, but I still get a lot of questions in terms of like how the doorbell works and then how I use it in my classroom, and it works out perfectly because I have a giveaway for you all. So quickly, in terms of the actual doorbell, the one that I use is from SADO Tech. I will link them down in the description box so you can check them out. You can get them directly from Amazon, super affordable. It comes with 2 pieces. First is the actual receiver. So this gets plugged into the wall somewhere in your classroom. Now I have mine plugged in right under your smartboard, but you could plug it in anywhere around your classroom. I love that it plugs in instead of running off of batteries, so I don't have to worry about changing those, you know, ever so often. I feel like batteries, I just run out of them super often. Then there's also the button. Now this piece is unattached, but I hang mine on my lanyard using a hand sanitizer holder. I got this hand sanitizer holder from like TJ Maxx for $1. It's super affordable, and the doorbell fits inside perfectly, and then I just hook it onto my lanyard. So this piece does not come with the doorbell. The black piece does, the red piece does not. But you could also Velcro it somewhere in your room, or I know some teachers that have like Velcroed it to their lanyard instead of using the hand sanitizer holder, but it's totally up to you. Now in terms of how I use it in my classroom, I use it to get my students' attention. So if I click the button, the doorbell rings. Now, something else that I love about these doorbells is they have tons of different tunes. So as soon as your students start to get used to it and they're not responding as well, you can change up the tune. I also love they have different ones that are kind of like holiday sounding. I need to change mine actually to one of those pretty soon. But I love that aspect of it. You also can change the volume, so you can have it down low, you can have it up higher. What I just played for you is the highest sound. Now, what I also love, and I know there's a lot of things I love, but seriously, this works from anywhere in my classroom. So I can be staying on the opposite side of the room and go ahead and click it and get my students' attention. Plus, because it takes a few seconds for the entire tune to play, sometimes I'm in the middle of having a conversation with the student and I'll go ahead and click it to start getting my other students' attention, and by the time I finish that conversation, they're all ready to go. I also know of some teachers who use these in terms of like switching between groups or rotations or centers. That's another option for you. SADO Tech has actually gifted me some to give away. So they had contacted me and they're like, hey, we'd love to send you one. I'm like, I already have one. Like, I bought it myself 1.5 years ago because I love them. I asked them if they would be willing to send some for me to give away. So they sent me 5 of them. I've already given away 2 on my Instagram, which If you're not following me on Instagram, you need to do that because I do some cool stuff on there. But that still leaves me with 3 of them to give away to you all. So here are the details for entering the giveaway. I'm making it super simple. Number 1, you have to watch this video, which apparently you are already doing. Number 2, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Number 3, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, which come on, you should be. And then number 4, I hate myself sometimes. Number 4, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I want to know something you are grateful for. I personally think that being grateful is highly important, and I love to hear what other people are grateful for. So go ahead and do those quick 4 steps. Just watch this video, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment down below with something you are grateful for. You will be entered in that giveaway. I will respond to the 3 winners to let them know that they have won, and then I will get all the further information from you, and I will send the doorbells your way. I do have different color options available, but you may not get the specific color that you want, but still, it's a free doorbell, and it doesn't get better than that. So I changed up my letterboard for the holidays. Now, this is not my original idea. I saw this all over the internet and decided to hop on the bandwagon, but it says, the best way to spread holiday cheer is following directions the first time. And nothing has been more real than this statement right now. Life update. First of all, this Campbell's soup, not brand placement. I wish it was brand placement. I just drink this every day for lunch, but. All right, so it is, what even time is it? It is almost 6 o'clock. I just feel like I'm living my best life right now. I mean, okay, in reality, I just spent the past like 2 hours grading, so probably not my best life, but I feel so genuinely happy, and it's attributed to a couple different things. First of all, I submitted a grad school assignment last night. That was graded, and I got a really good score, so I'm really happy about that because I am totally a nerd and really care about my grades. I probably shouldn't, but I do. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist if you haven't figured that out yet. But I also just am genuinely happy. I feel like my day went really well, and just the connections with my kiddos and all that good stuff. We had our funeral for Pluto, and I know some people told me like, well, maybe it's not actually dying. No. After seeing it today, Pluto is no longer with us. So we did have a little funeral, and like half the grade was swarmed around us, like all saying their good words. So like, Pluto was a great plant, and we buried him outside. He will decompose and become one with nature again. And I'm just feeling good. I'm feeling really happy. So I need to get out of here now that I'm done grading. I'm gonna go to the gym, go home, figure out what I'm doing tomorrow. We are starting metric measurements. So I'm excited. And I like just starting something new. Like, we've been working on fractions for a while, and like, I'm over it, I'm ready to move on. So I'm saying so a lot. I apologize. I'm gonna get out of here. I will catch up with you in the morning, hopefully still in a good mood. Good morning, YouTube. I got excited this morning because Billy told me that there was a little dusting last night. That's not the reality. It is frost. And listen, frost is just an inconvenience. There's nothing special about frost. So I was productive last night. I got a lot of things done that I needed to get done, one of which being I have to renew my certificate coming up, because in Maryland, your teaching certificate is good for 5 years. And believe it or not, I'm in my 5th year of teaching, so my certificate expires this summer. In order to renew your certificate, you have to get at least 6 professional development credits. I have already done that, which is awesome because most of the time your county provides you with opportunities to get those, and I've already completed them. But I did have to fill out a like professional development plan or something, but I had to fill it out with my information, list out the credits I've already done. I had to sign it and get my administration to sign it, and then I had to scan it and send it to those people, and then they will take care of getting my certificate renewed for me. So that is done. I'm excited about it. I also had to send some stuff since I'm the e-coach and I do professional development. After the professional development, I have to send a signed copy of the sign-in sheet. So I feel good. You know, I got those like little things done that I needed to get done, and I made a deal with myself that if I do my hair in the morning, hair is done, I get to go get coffee, and so far it's really motivating me. So because I just froze off my fingers trying to scrape my windows, which I'm a bad person. Let me just show you for a second. I just like carve a little hole. I do not sit there and scrape the entire window. So for those of you who think I'm a good person, think again. I only do the least amount possible when I am, you know, scraping off my window. But I'm gonna go get myself some coffee as a reward, and I'm gonna get to school. I wanted to do a little outfit of the day, and you know, maybe one of these days I will get a full-length mirror where I can do these properly, but that day is not today. So the main reason is because I want to show you my shirt because it's adorable and it just came in the mail yesterday. It says best job ever, hashtag teacher life, and the O in job is an apple. Good news, bad news. Good news, this shirt is absolutely adorable. Bad news, I don't think I can really link it. I got it from Jane.com, which if you're not using Jane.com, first of all, if you're anything like me and you buy stuff easily, you probably shouldn't use it. But you know, if you have some self-control, it's an excellent website. They always have deals and it's a lot of like small sellers and I just love it. Now, that being said, the deals run out, and once the deal runs out, unless you can track down the website, you don't really have a way to link it. And I tried to track down the website last night and I couldn't really find it. If I can, I will link it. If not, don't hate me. Then I have my blue skirt. I'm still getting asked about these skirts a lot. They come from Amazon. Just ignore all of this mess over here. But they come from Amazon. They're super affordable. They're about $20 each. And they have pockets. So I have this in like 6 different colors. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. I just updated my math focus board. I do this every unit and we are starting a new unit today on measurement conversion. So we cover metric measurement and customary measurement. So first of all, these posters are from TPT. I want to say it's from Math Facts and Backpacks, so I will link that in the description box. These vocabulary cards are from Star Spangled Planner. I love them because they are very visual. I will link those as well. Let's talk about how I actually store these because we have 15 math units. So I have a lot of vocabulary cards and a lot of posters. So I actually got this organizer from Target, so it's just by 5-star, and it opens up and it has these dividers, so each different divider represents a unit. Basically, when it's the start of a new unit, I just find the unit in here and I already have all of the vocabulary cards and all of the posters that go with that unit, so it's super easy to just quickly change them out and then put them away and save them for next year. All right. I know this is a little bit of a different setup for me and I know I'm off center and it's probably bothering some of you, it's bothering me, but what I'm gonna do is talk through my lesson today and talk about how I'm making it more interactive for my students and working in more opportunities for movement. So I'm gonna put up JPEGs on the screen of the slides that I use because I teach every single day using Google Slides, so that way you can kind of see what the slide is and then I can explain what I'm doing. First of all, a little bit of background information. The way our curriculum is designed, we have 3 different types of lessons in math. A conceptual lesson, which is when you're introducing a new skill, a fluency lesson, which is when you're practicing a skill, and then application, which is when you are applying the skill to a real life situation. Today is a conceptual lesson because we are starting a new unit, and typically conceptual lessons are kind of on the boring side because it's new information, and once you start practicing it with the fluency, then you're able to incorporate more activities. But I've really been struggling with the conceptual lessons because the way they're written into the curriculum, they're kind of boring. So I'm going to talk to you about how I take the curriculum and then make it work for me and my teaching style and my students. So our lessons always start off with what we call a number sense routine. This is basically a way to practice fact fluency. It's not always necessarily multiplication facts or division facts, but it has to do with whatever skill we are working on. So in the curriculum, it wanted us to get into a circle and then skip count around the circle. And I just knew that that was not gonna work for me, and I knew it wouldn't work for my students. No student wants to get in a circle and just skip count, and it just wasn't gonna work. So I'm doing something I call speed counting. All you need is a piece of paper. Oh, there go my notes. Okay, you can use line paper or you can use white paper, doesn't matter. Essentially, students work in groups. I have my students work in groups of 4, and it's silent, so they're not allowed to talk, and they pass the paper around and each person writes the next multiple. So if we're skip counting by 6s, the first person would write 6, the next person would write 12, and then 18, and then 24, and so on. If a student disagrees, they can erase it and change it, but they cannot write another number. I time them, I put up a timer for a minute, and we see who can get the most during that time. I don't usually reward them for it, but you could do that if you wanted to. After the number sense routine, we have what's called a pose a problem. It's typically a word problem, and it's either meant to elicit prior knowledge or kind of introduce the skill and let them have a productive struggle to work through it with manipulatives and strategies and things like that. So this poser problem I actually liked because it introduces students to connecting metric measurement to place value. So seeing the connections of 10 times greater or 10 times less. So we're gonna do the poser problem as usual. They work together in groups and they solve it, and then we look at different strategies under the document camera, discuss it, all that good stuff. Then I'm actually going to show them a slideshow. Now I got this off of TPT, so I can't show the actual slides because I didn't make them, but I will link it for you in the description box. It's by Deb Hansen and she makes amazing math PowerPoints. Now, just teaching from a math PowerPoint, kind of boring. So I like to find ways just to make it a little bit more interesting. So I start off by teaching my students, okay, what is length, what is mass or weight when we get to customary units, and then what is capacity. So we'll discuss what those are, and then we're actually going to practice. So I'll tell them, you know, okay, if you were measuring how much a sandbox can hold, which one is that? And instead of just having them like write it down or yell it out, that's not super engaging, I'm gonna have them use different hand motions. So if it is measuring length, they're gonna go, and yes, a sound effect is required. I think sound effects make everything better. So that will represent length. If it is measuring mass, they're gonna pretend like they're holding something heavy and you know, kind of groan with it like they're holding something heavy. Then if it's measuring capacity, they're gonna pretend like they're holding a cup of water and a pitcher and make a shh sound as they're pouring it. So we'll do a couple examples and kind of go through which one is which and what kinds of things you would measure with those different types of measurement, and they'll do those motions. That way it's a little bit more interactive for them. Then I go through and I actually have them visualize. So we're gonna focus on length today. So I want them to visualize how much is a millimeter, how much is a centimeter, how much is a meter, and then how much is a kilometer. So I actually have them close their eyes and I have them visualize. So for a millimeter, I usually tell them it's about the length of a grain of sand. And then a centimeter is about the width of your pinky. And then a meter is about the width of a door. And then a kilometer is about how long you could walk in 10 minutes. Then I have my students take out their math notebooks so I can give them notes. So I create pretty much all of my own notes. Sometimes I do use ones that I can find online. I'm sorry, I don't have these available yet, but I promise I will. It's kind of my goal for the end of the year is to get up a set of notes. These are not interactive notes. Like the students don't have to copy anything down, but sometimes to save time, I just want to give them notes that they can refer back to. So I'm going to give them these notes. They will glue them in their math notebooks. Then I'm going to show them a video. Now this video is from NUMBERROCK and it's all about the metric system. I absolutely love it. It's super catchy. Now it's available on YouTube. So I will leave the YouTube link down in the description box. You can access it for free. It's absolutely just engaging for your students. They really, really enjoy the videos. Then I go back to the slideshow and I want my students to practice estimating length so that they can really focus on what would make sense as a length for different objects. So what I'm gonna have them do is I'm gonna show them different images from the slideshow that I purchased on TPT, and they will have to choose between two different lengths and which one makes more sense. So if they agree with the length that's on the left side, they will come to the left side of the room. If they think it's the length on the right side, they will walk over to the right side of the room. That way they're getting out of their seats and they're getting some motion. Then I'm gonna have them go back to their seats and we're gonna practice on whiteboards. But again, to make it more interactive, I like to tell my students a little rhyme, motion, whatever you wanna call it, to help them remember, because they always struggle with, do I multiply by 10 or do I divide by 10 or 100 or 1,000, whatever it is that they're converting. So I always like to tell my students, okay, if you are going from big, and they put out their hands like this, to small, you multiply, because this makes a cross, just like a multiplication sign. Then I tell them if they're going from small to big, they divide, because this kind of makes a division sign. Like if this is the middle line and then like your head and your feet can kind of be the dots. Okay, it doesn't really work, but it works well enough. So as we practice, I have them do that to practice so they know if they're multiplying or dividing. So hopefully that was helpful for you, just to get some ideas of ways to make lessons more engaging. Now, I also sometimes stand on tables and I also sometimes teach in accents. Ultimately, it just comes down to working in opportunities for movement and finding ways for your students to get more engaged in the material. So I hope that that was helpful for you. If not, I'm sorry. And before anyone asks, my slides, like my daily slides, I can't put up the actual slides for sale because they're based on our curriculum. Like I said, I pick and choose, but I do plan on getting a template available. But right now grad school is kind of taking over my life, so that will happen eventually, probably over the summer, so just bear with me. I just took my students out for dismissal, and surprisingly it's 4 o'clock. I feel like usually by the time I vlog it's like 6:30, but I'm gonna get out of here early today. I was able to get all my planning done for tomorrow earlier today during my planning time, so that was awesome. And I have been staying late like a lot, which typically I don't mind doing, because what happens is Billy and I go and meet at the gym after school, so I don't really have a reason to leave early anyway, except for today. So I told you that I did a giveaway of the doorbells on my Instagram, so I need to get to the post office so I can send those off to those 2 winners, check my P.O. box, and then I think I'm gonna go get a haircut. Nothing like major, I'm just gonna trim the ends, but I have not had a haircut in like literally a year. I'm that bad person who never gets their haircut, and I get a lot of questions about my hair and like, oh, what do you do to it? And I'm like, I am the worst hair maintenance person ever, so I need to go just get all my like dead ends. Like, do you see that? That's disgusting. I need to go get those all cut off. Then I will go to the gym and go home and start my next grad school assignment. I will catch up with you in the morning. Good morning, YouTube. You know, up until today, really, I was feeling better. Like, after Monday morning, I said my throat was hurting. That had kind of gotten better. My stuffy nose had kind of gotten better. And then I woke up this morning and I have a lot of congestion, like, in my chest, and my voice has been weird, and it's just not good, and I'm not happy about it, because I was doing better, but it's okay. It could be a lot worse, and, you know, I'm still good enough to, like, go to school. I do think I'm gonna go get, I don't want coffee, but I want something, like, cold to drink, like some tea or something, like some iced tea, so, yeah, I'm gonna go get that, and then I have a meeting this morning, CDM, and then I have to meet with my team teacher during planning time. So I probably won't vlog a whole lot today, but you know, I'm here, I'm doing my thing. Look how cute he is, going to work in his suit. It is the end of the day, but I have to make this short because, as you can tell, I do not have much of a voice. Now, I wanted to share 2 things that happened from the day. So, number 1, on the way to lunch, I had a student swinging his lunchbox, and all of a sudden he goes, wait, I can't swing my lunchbox, I got a Twinkie in there. And I just cracked up, because it's the little things like that, you know? It just brings you back to the fact that, like, these are kids. Now, the second thing was not necessarily a good thing, but I got hit in the face with a football at recess. It was a foam one, so it was okay. Like, it hurt, but it kind of knocked my glasses off, but I survived. It's okay, and it was an accident, no biggie, but you know, college does not prepare you for that. I am working on planning out my stuff for tomorrow, and I have some fun activities planned, so hopefully I have more of a voice tomorrow and can share those with you. But for now, I'm going to just keep my voice off the rest of the day, try to conserve it for tomorrow, and I will catch up with you in the morning. Good morning, YouTube. I'm gonna keep this short because, you know, can't talk right now. I have SGA committees this morning, so I'm one of the chair people for an SGA committee, that's Student Government Association. So I have a group of students coming to my room this morning before school starts. We are part of the appreciation committee, so I kind of got to throw together some stuff for that and just try to survive today. That's what we're doing. We're surviving. So here is the finished product with my tree. Super cute, I know. The tree itself came from the Target dollar spot. I want to say was like $3. And then I got the mini ornament bulbs off of Amazon, and I will link those for you in the description box. And before anyone asks, yes, all of my students do celebrate Christmas. All right, I'm going to do my best to explain this with like barely any voice, but back in November, I had purchased these poppers. So these are from Target. They're like $4 a piece, and it comes with the little person, and it comes with a total of 4 balls. So it has the one that's already on them, and then there are 3 extras. So basically you just squeeze their stomach and it pops it out. So these are super fun. The kids love using them, and I purchased them without really knowing how exactly I was going to use them in the classroom, but I knew that I could come up with something. So it finally hit me. We are working on metric and customary measurement. Currently, right now, we're just doing metric measurement conversions. So I'm going to have them work in partners. They're going to pop it as far as they can, and I have meter sticks down on the floor. They're going to measure the distance that they popped it in centimeters, and then they're going to convert convert that measurement to millimeters and convert it to meters. Now, in order to convert it to meters, they're going to round the length in centimeters to the nearest 100, and then they will convert it to meters. So I just created this super simple recording sheet. If you are interested in this, you can just send me an email and I will send it over to you. I don't have it available on TPT, but if you want it, I can certainly get it to you through email. Didn't really need a whole lot of prep. All I needed were these little poppers and then the recording sheet. And what I will probably do after they do the activity today, this could be like an early finisher option later in the week. And even next week, if they get an opportunity, this is something they could continue to do. So hopefully if you have seen these or maybe grabbed them the last time I showed them and you were looking for a way to use them, hopefully this gives you some ideas. So it is now like 6 o'clock. I've been grading. I had to get my comments done for interim reports, which are due tomorrow, and answering emails and all that good stuff. And I'm obviously not going to the gym tonight because of just what I'm dealing with health-wise right now. But my students' band and strings concert is tonight at about 6:30. So I think I'm just gonna hang out for a little bit. That way I can watch the band and strings concert because they performed for the school this morning, but it was during my cultural arts time, which is my planning time. So I didn't get a chance to go because I was worrying about doing other things, and I want to be able to see them play. And a lot of my students are in band or strings, plus a lot of my students from last year. So I'm going to be a good person, go to that. Then I will go home. Thankfully, I don't have to do any lesson planning tonight, and I can actually relax and hopefully start feeling better. Morning, YouTube. I feel a little bit better. I mean, I thought my voice was back, but now that I'm actually talking, apparently it's not. The worst part right now is just the congestion in my chest and the cough. But good news is today I do have Chromebooks, so I think that that will help, and I won't have to do quite as much talking. We're going to do a Kahoot, and one of my blocks earned some kind of like free time on the Chromebook, so I'm going to reward them with that. I have committee meetings this morning, and then I have no planning time, so it should be interesting today. I wanted to talk you through one other activity. My students actually did this yesterday, but I forgot to kind of explain it to you all. So this is called rock, paper, scissors game. Now, I did not create this. This was something that was given to me, but you could totally take this idea and adapt it to your own classroom. Basically, there are two different sides. So students play in partners. I'm sorry, I'm doing the best I can with my voice, y'all. So they start down here at the start. They play rock, paper, scissors, and the winner gets to move their marker up to the next level, and they have to solve that problem in order to keep it there. Then they do rock, paper, scissors again. Let's say this person moves, they move up to the next level. So it's a race to get up to the finish line. But what I love about this is you could so easily adapt this to any content area or even any grade level. All you would have to do is adjust what is actually in the bars here. So this is just a quick, easy idea. I basically just printed them out, put them in page protector so they could be used again and again. And then this is something you could even have as like an early finisher option. Once your students do it the one time in partners and they understand how to play, it could be something that they could always go back to. It is now the end of the day, which means I've survived another week, and I am another week closer to winter break. We do go through next Friday, so I will have a vlog next week. It'll focus more on kind of like what we're doing for our holiday party and some fun activities and all that good stuff. But it is time for me to end this vlog so I can get out of here and go home and take care of me with not feeling well. Like, I definitely need just a weekend to be able to rest and rejuvenate. So if you enjoyed this vlog, please go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you are notified every time I post a new video. As always, thank you for watching. I love you all so much. Don't forget to think positive, and I will catch you all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of this video and for supporting my YouTube channel. If you want to check out any of my older videos, you can use the 2 links right down here. If you want to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future videos, you can use the link right up here. The links to all of my social media sites, my Teachers Pay Teacher store, my merchandise store, and my Amazon store are in the description box, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.